Hey everybody. It's not very often you'll find smartphone related videos on Q Computer Channel, but today I'm going to be telling you guys about something I've done to my phone. This is my Motorola Droid Razr-M XT907 smartphone. I think it's a 2012 model phone. It's in a OtterBox commuter case. Helps protect it from, everyday use. Now to be honest, this is actually a different one. This here is my old phone. I just swapped the case over, really. So yeah, I bought a separate Droid Razr-M off of eBay for like 50 bucks. Did it for two reasons. Number one, I want a phone to experiment with, and number two, this is really the bigger reason. This particular phone has the latest over-the-air Verizon update, or KitKat update, which has applied a patch preventing you from unlocking the bootloader. So as of to date, when your phone has the .15 system version on it, there's currently no known way to even unlock the bootloader. It's pretty much if you can use SafeStrap, that's pretty much the only way, or get you another phone. Now, you can go on eBay and find phones for like 50 bucks that have either the stock KitKat, which is version .10, the system version number, or you can probably find phones that still have Jelly Bean installed, maybe an ice cream sandwich. So anyways, for those who don't know, KitKat is, or at least on these phones, the latest over-the-air software update is KitKat 4.4.2. One of the big reasons why I want to do this software modification is the KitKat was always a bit slow on this phone. Now, Motorola's are usually not known for having too much bloatware, but Verizon did load a bunch of stuff on here. I'll show you this in a moment. So I wanted to get something that ran a little faster and was a little more modern. Another reason I want to do this modification to the software is because ever since this phone has taken the latest over-the-air update, the camera has just been absolute crap. I mean, you can head on over to the BikeGeekMTDX channel, and you'll look at particularly the elevator videos from, let's say, mid-2014 through let's say August 2014 would be good, because this is now September and I haven't posted any more videos yet. You can look at those videos and you can see what I'm talking about in a way. Better yet, what you can do is you can head on over to BikeGeekMTDX, and I'll be posting a video soon, if it ain't posted already, doing a comparison between these two phones at CPCC, Student Parking Deck 3, doing a video of the elevator there, and outside look at the campus and everything. I did a nice comparison between both the cameras in regards to their video quality. And let me tell you, with this software update, the camera works so much better. It works probably better than the original camera software on this thing worked. So yeah, when I got this thing originally, the camera's photos were very vibrant in color. The videos weren't really, you didn't have glitchy sounds in the video. The frames didn't drop and things like that. But with the latest over-the-air update, it just the colors look more washed out. The white balance isn't right. In the videos, you get the glitches, you get the frame drops, and there's all sorts of crap. So anyways, let's go ahead and start out by booting up this phone. Show you what this phone looks like from the factory stock. There's your Motorola logo. When your bootloader is locked, you'll get that. There's that very annoying boot up animation with noise. This is always nice when you're rebooting your phone for whatever reason and you happen to be in a quiet room with others and your phone makes all sorts of noise. Especially the Droid. I can't stand that. Guess what? Now I replaced my notification sound, by the way. It's no longer Droid. I got tired of that. Yeah, it's a buzz from a ThyssenKrupp elevator. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into the phone here. And of course, this isn't the clean install, I guess you can say. It's still got all the apps I had on it while still using it. And phone is reminding me that I need a SIM card. No, I don't. Not just for this. I'm not placing any phone calls, not doing any text messaging, not getting any mobile data, none of that. So yeah, this is what this is what it looks like. At least how much I've customized it. You got the background and everything. This is the common apps drawer. And 4.4.2. And of course, Google Play is already trying to update some apps. Let's go into settings and show you some things. Now, I mentioned earlier that this latest update, you can't unlock the bootloader, but you can actually root the phone. There is actually a software, there's actually a download you can get off the internet. I forget what it's called. Let me look it up right quick. It's an exploit called hydrogen peroxide, for those who didn't know. Basically what it does is it uses Tailroot, and what it has to do is it has to put the older kernel version back on the phone temporarily. It's a command line batch script that you can run. It actually, let's see if we can find the kernel version. It takes this kernel version off, puts the older kernel version on, downloads Tailroot APK to the phone, lets you run Tailroot to root the phone, and then it places the current kernel back on. That's what you have to do with this latest system version. See, 183.46.15. This is the one that you cannot unlock the bootloader as of to date. It's so locked down that you can't really get in there to unlock it. You can root the phone, but you can't unlock the bootloader. So again, it's Android version 4.4.2. Now basically, with system version 183.46.10, you can easily root the phone and unlock the bootloader. You can just download Tailroot and Mode Apocalypse. I think they're both available in the Play Store. Download them both. You'll first use Tailroot to root the phone. Then you go online and download SuperSU. It's a super user app, management app. Install that, and then you can download and run Mode Apocalypse, and it will actually unlock the bootloader. So anyways, that's that. Now that you kind of got an idea of what's going on here, we're going to show you this one. Now this isn't going to be really a how-to video, guys. This is just sort of an overview. You know, I could have done a how-to video, but it wouldn't have been all that great because I was basically looking at how-to videos myself when doing all this stuff. I wasted so much time trying to figure this one out and realized, you can't unlock the bootloader on this one because the stupid thing took the software update last year. Which, by the way, it's commonly known as the July 29th, 2014 build. So anyways, that's what the lock screen looks like on Android 5.1.1. Yes, that's Lollipop. I'm going to go ahead and restart this phone so that way you can see what it looks like starting up. You're going to love what Motorola puts on the phone when you unlock the bootloader. It changes, you saw earlier how we had the Motorola logo. Well, they put something else there when you unlock your bootloader. It's this very eye-catching advisory message. There you go. Look at that. Just get you a good... Pause the video and read that. It's hilarious. Now, of course, the old phone like this, the warranty is well gone. Which, by the way, this is Cyanogenmod 12.1. Yay, no more annoying sounds when the phone boots up. Okay, we're getting near finished with the boot up process. And of course, there is the lock screen. Alright, let's go ahead and access the phone. And there's your home screen. You can see I've already customized it with, you know, my background and things like that. And one thing I must say is it's much faster than the previous phone. You know, they're exactly the same phone except one's a different color. That's really the only difference between the two. They're really the same phone. And let's take a look at the app drawer on this one. Android 5.1.1. I really like how everything is sorted by letter, and you just simply scroll. You just swipe down to scroll the list. So much easier than, you know, let's see. So much easier than doing this. This is so much better. So much better. Now, let me show you the software version on this thing. Yeah, very nice having the latest version of Android on a 2012 phone. So let's go into settings. And I like how they've changed the style, you know, the theme of Android here. You know, lists are now, they now have a white background with black text versus, let's say, you know, this here. And the nice thing about it is they can actually, you know, you can lower your screen brightness and save battery power. So much nicer. Now, I noticed that the menu spacing is a little bit bigger on this, which might be good for those whose vision isn't all that great. Let's look at About Phone. This is Cyanogenmod. Cyanogenmod version 12.1-2015-0831 nightly. This is the nightly from yesterday. I downloaded it today actually and updated it because I am having a few little issues with this software. These are nightly builds. You know, it's really beta, so you're going to have some bugs here and there. You know, this is a nightly build, so it's pretty much beta. You will have some issues, and I'll go over those shortly. For the most part, it's doing very well. Again, Android 5.1.1. Anyways, that's the menu again. Let me show you how notifications on these look. Just pull down. There's your notifications. And let's see on this. This black menu, and I just like how you pull down and you still see your home screen in the background, but you have your list of notifications, which there's only one notification right now on this. I personally disable notifications on a lot of apps to keep my phone from going off every 5 seconds. Like when I get a new message on like a YouTube comment or something, you know, I get those a lot on Computer Channel. Lots of emails every day. And I don't need to know when somebody commented on my Facebook status. I don't need my phone to go off like that, you know. I don't worry about that when I'm home at the computer. Now you pull down again and you get your quick settings. Now you see that 0000000. I'll come back to that shortly. But you know, we have a lot of quick settings right here. No longer need the flashlight app because it's built in. You know, you got a flashlight really built into the core OS. You don't need a flashlight app to turn it on, which you may be able to do that with KitKat. I don't know for sure. So let's get back out of this. Which, you know, actually it keeps the phone, I'm sorry, the flashlight going. So go in here and disable it. Alrighty. Another thing I like about 5.1.1 is your open apps. You can easily close them out. Let me show you. Like the scrolling effect you have. So yeah, overall this has a lot of UI improvements. It really does. Like I only have one thing open here, but it's not the same. It's not the same thing. Which on this you pull to the right or the left. So anyways, you know I was talking about cameras earlier. Let's go ahead and just open the camera apps on both of these. Now you can actually tell right here on camera that these look different. Now it looks like Lollipop puts sort of a blue tint to everything. Now the photos don't actually have that blue tint. But one thing I do like about these, you know, especially, you know, particularly this, is a tap to focus, which this has as well. You know, I can tap, let's see if we can see it. I can tap on something and have the camera focus right there. You know, I'll stick this right nearby. Tell the camera to focus on that, which is pretty cool. But basically, you know, it looks like this camera app here on KitKat. You have more options available right there. On this are sort of hidden. You have to swipe in from the left to get your options. You got settings up here, and it's more of like in a menu. I think it's dumbed down just a little bit. You know, you have advanced, and you can turn on these features here. Let's go back. The one thing I like about the camera app here is it shows you it actually shows you what the camera is focusing on. Let's say put that little battery here, and you can see it's focusing on the battery. Stick this battery here. I'll demonstrate the tap to focus. I'm going to focus on, make sure the camera is actually focused on this. There we go. Focus on that battery. Now I'm going to focus on this. You can see it even adjusts the exposure as well. Now, of course, when I move away from my camera that I'm shooting with right now, the focus goes out because these do not have autofocus. So there's your tap to focus. You know, pretty neat little feature. Let's go ahead and show you the video camera for those who care. The video quality of this, if you haven't went and watched, if you aren't planning on going over to BikeGeekMTDX and watching the video, I'll go ahead and just explain right quick the improvements that we're getting with this. The camera within Lollipop on the XT907, you have better color and clarity, and you also have much better sound quality. I mean, the sound quality on the camera app on this is so much better than the same hardware with KitKat, with the Verizon, you know, .15 update. The .10 update was okay; it wasn't so bad, but the .15 is what ruined it. So, anyways, let's go ahead and get into a little further detail here. Before I reboot the phone and show you more of how this actually gets installed, let's go and talk about some of the bugs that I'm experiencing with this. For the most part, this is working very well. I did have a couple of issues with the screen, the colors on the screen acting weird upon the first boot up. But other than that, the issue that I have sometimes is if you're not within an LTE area. So, you know, basically, if you're not getting good 4G signal, you need to get down to 3G. Or at least with Verizon, instead of showing Verizon Wireless, it shows 000 000. Now, let's say at CPCC, where there's great 4G LTE coverage, it will say Verizon Wireless right there. Now, I'm going to disable Wi-Fi temporarily. And we get this caution mark, and 3G now turns on. Re-enable Wi-Fi. And, okay, now we're back on Wi-Fi. Some people have been reporting some issues with Bluetooth. I have not even messed with Bluetooth. I don't really have a use for it right now. But I noticed earlier today that sometimes, or at least while I was on the college Wi-Fi, sometimes it would just drop the Wi-Fi altogether. You would have an exclamation mark here, and it was using your mobile data instead. And really, you know, I just tapped to disable and tapped to re-enable it, and it would come back on. After a reboot, that seemed to actually stop. So, okay, basically I installed this latest build today, and upon the first successful boot up, I would periodically have that issue. But after restarting the phone, it worked okay. Same goes for another issue I was having with Wi-Fi. Basically, you know, at where I work, there's different access points all throughout the college campus. And as I'd walk around to go to certain places, you know, I noticed that the phone was automatically reconnecting to the college Wi-Fi when I hit a new access point. You know, I would just, you know, unlock the phone and swipe down the notification, and bam, it all of a sudden it would work. After that reboot I was telling you guys about, so far it's been seeming to automatically pick up Wi-Fi and work like it's supposed to. So also phone calls work just fine. I tested texting the other day with my mom's phone, tested to it and from, and texting seems to be working with the stock messaging app that's on here. I don't text a whole lot, so it's kind of hard to, you know, kind of hard to say. Though I did test it and it is functioning. So anyways, that's really the problem I'm having. Other than that, it's been pretty seamless. So before I restart the phone, I'm going to talk about some, you know, the things that you have to do to, you know, to be able to actually install these custom ROMs onto your phone. Now, in order to, let's say, unlock the bootloader on some phones, well, obviously you need to have root access. So I already discussed how I got root access and unlocked the bootloader on this thing. But there's a lot of times where you may need to access fastboot, AP fastboot, using your computer. You need to have what's called USB debugging enabled. And that's within developer options. So, by default, developer options is not enabled. What you have to do, what you have to do is you have to go into About Phone, and you would tap the build number a certain amount of times, and after you tap it a few times, the phone will tell you how many more times you need to tap before you become a developer. Now watch this. It says no need, you already have enabled development settings. So that is build number you would tap to enable those. But once you get those enabled, you go to developer options and enable USB debugging. Now on this version of Android, it's just called Android Debugging ADB interface. Let me show you KitKat, so that way you can see what it looks like on that. Let's say if you have a XT907 with KitKat. Hopefully you have the .10 system version. So let's say, you know, you tap, no need, you're already a developer. Go to developer options, USB debugging, you would just tap to enable it, and it just ask you want to allow it. You would say OK. We're going to turn it back off. I tend to only turn it on when it's needed. So anyways, that's that. You have to have USB debugging enabled to, to be able to transfer ROM files to your phone. And I believe, I don't think USB debugging with an Android has to be enabled to use AP Fastboot, but you have to make sure you have the drivers installed for your phone. You can download those online actually from Motorola, or any other site that gives you the link. Sometimes a phone may have them preloaded within the phone memory. So anyways, let's get our developer options. So let's say that you do happen to have an Android phone that is based on, let's say an XT907 phone that's based on the .10 system build, and you've already unlocked your bootloader and your phone's rooted. You have to install custom recovery. You don't need to do that through AP Fastboot. And a matter of fact, the way I was able to get Team Win Recovery Project for this phone, had to sign up, to I think it's Droid Razr forums, because if you don't sign up there, you which by the way, if you pull up on your home screen, you'll get these options for wallpapers, widgets, and settings. I didn't mention that earlier. You have to register for that forum, because if you're not registered, they block the links, and you can't access the download links and things like that. So I registered to get Team Win Recovery Project. Once you have that installed on your phone through Fastboot, you then can do an Android backup, or less a full backup of your phone to your external SD, which you pretty much need an external SD installed for this. So that way you can drop in the custom ROM, the Google apps, and things like that. So you can go to Cyanogenmod's site, and you can download their latest nightly build. Now, as I mentioned, it's a nightly build, so you're going to possibly have bug issues. So you want to have some technical know-how before you start playing around with your phone. So we're going to reboot into recovery. I'll actually power off. So anyways, to access Motorola phones, or at least with these particular phones, to access the boot menu, you press volume up, volume down at the same time, and then you press and hold power. Okay, let's do it. You get this menu that may look creepy to some if you've never seen it before. You have normal power up, so if you get into that by mistake, you just press the volume up to select normal power up. You have recovery, which if your phone, if you have not flashed a custom recovery and you boot into recovery, you'll see like an Android sitting on its back with a I think a wrench on its chest. So you have AP Fastboot. You go up. So let me show you Fastboot. See, device is unlocked, status code 3. And here's where you'll plug in your USB data cable, and provided you have the proper drivers installed, it will tell you, USB connected. And basically you'll use some Android development tools, including Fastboot, through a command prompt on Windows to actually send, you can actually flash things like the recovery. This, always be careful when you look at the directions, be sure you follow them to the T. So I'm going to go ahead and power off, and now we're going to boot into recovery. Again, there's that menu. We're going to select volume up for recovery. And there's our wonderful advisory message again. Yeah, I just love the part where it says, may cause damage to the device or result in injury to users. Yeah, I just love it. Yeah, Team Win Recovery Project. That's what this is called. So anyways, let's say that you're doing this for the first time, which by the way, I like how this actually tells you the battery status, which may not be 100% accurate, and it tells you your CPU temperature like on a computer. So the first thing you'd want to do is you want to do a backup, which I'll go and actually do a backup here on camera, since I have a build that seems to work okay for the most part. So you're doing this for the first time. You'll do data. You'll do the defaults in data, system, and boot, and storage to micro SD. Swipe to backup, and it's going to go ahead and back up system files. This may take a few minutes or so. Not sure how long. Still doing the backup. Okay, the backup has completed. So let's go ahead and go back to home. Yeah, for some reason this Team Win recovery project, it dimms the screen down for some reason. Well, it doesn't say battery life, but apparently it doesn't seem to wake the screen back up when you want to look at things. So it's really, really dim right now. So just try to bear with me. I'm going to cut this light off. There, that's a little better. So if we go to, next thing you'll do is you're going to go to wipe and swipe to factory reset. I'm not going to wipe. Which I know I just did a backup, but I'm still not going to wipe. Now we're going to talk about something here. Initially I did the default settings here for swipe to factory reset, and what would happen is the CM12.1, the boot animation, that's all you would see. It would just stay there at the boot animation and go no further. It only started to work properly when I went to advanced wipe and selected Dalvik cache, data, internal storage, cache, and system, and everything except for micro SD. Wiped it all, and then I was able to successfully flash ROM over and actually have it boot on the first try. Now sometimes I noticed that CM12.1 may not boot the first time successfully. You'd have to press and hold power and volume down to do a hard shutdown and reset of the phone. Matter of fact, I had to do that today when I upgraded to the August 31st nightly. It would stay on the boot animation, so I hard reset the phone, and the second time it booted right up and worked just fine. So anyways, now we're going to go to install. Here you would choose, we're looking at external SD. Basically you would go on Cyanogenmod's website and download the latest nightly that they have. And there usually is also a link on some other sites, like tutorial sites, to what's called Google Apps, or G Apps, or GAPS, or you want to call them, GAPPS. Basically, it's your basic Google apps, like your Play Store and some other things like that. That way you can install other apps on the phone. So basically, you would choose, the zip file, which, by the way, you don't extract the downloads on the computer. You just copy the zip straight over to the phone. You'll do the custom ROM, do the flash, and then come back to install the G apps. You do the flash and reboot the phone. So that's sort of an overview of that. So now I'll go ahead and reboot the phone. There's that lovely message again. Yeah, just look at that. Yeah, that part there is so funny. Result in injury to users. I guess it's possible, but hey. So before we end this video, which I know has gotten to be pretty long, I got a third phone to show you. It's a Motorola Droid 4. It's a phone that some friend my dad gave to him, and he gave it to me to do something, to do whatever with. Kind of like to, upgrade to this phone because it has a slide-out QWERTY keyboard. The phone is pretty old. I think it's a 2012 model phone. Anyways, this particular phone, you can root it, and you actually use the debug interface through the PC to actually root it. It uses an older known exploit on, I think it's Jelly Bean or Ice Cream Sandwich, whichever version of Android this thing had when I got it. I think it was Jelly Bean. What was interesting, it was factory set, and I had to bypass the carrier activation thing. Yeah, for those who are in a situation of let's say they have a Droid 4 and they're wanting to bypass activation, carrier activation like Verizon or whoever, because the phone doesn't have a SIM card installed. When you get to that advisory message saying need to insert a SIM card, what I did was literally finger around the edge of the screen several times, like in a real quick fashion. And what it eventually did is it bypassed that, and you was able to finally set the phone up and get into Android and play with the phone. Now, this phone is rooted a different way, and unfortunately, there wasn't really a known exploit to unlock the bootloader. So, this phone is in order to get the custom ROM, only you have to use what's called Safe Strap recovery, and it's based off a TeamWin, but it bypasses the locked bootloader by using virtual ROM slots. So, I'm going to power it on. And you can see no threatening messages about the bootloader being unlocked. This phone does have a cracked screen too. The glass is cracked. But these phones here you can get on eBay for like 30 to 40 bucks. So this one does a little different. You'll see the screen go blank, and eventually looks sort of like your PC booting Windows in a way. You get that moment where your screen goes black. There you go. Now, and of course, CM12. Yep, CM12. Well, 12.1. Cyanogenmod. And I figured I'd take this opportunity to show you guys, it sort of acts like it's starting for the first time. Probably because it hasn't been turned on a little bit. Now, of course, there is no SIM card in this one. And this is actually what some of you guys may recognize that theme if you've looked at Android 5.1 already. And what I like about it is it seems to integrate very well with this phone's built-in buttons and the built-in keyboard. Now watch what happens when I slide the keyboard out. Even the home screen changes orientation. Isn't that nice? Almost like the desktop of your computer, really. You got your keyboard here. Let's go into the... Everything goes from portrait to landscape, really. Now you can see there's not really much here in regards to apps. This is really the base install. I don't even think Play Store should be there, but I have not went in and actually installed any other apps on this thing. Now, I assume we would probably have the same problems, the same common problems that are currently known for the nightly version of 12.1. Anyways, that's that. I'll show you the camera app on this, which we're dealing with a different phone now. Okay, get my hand out of the way. I think this phone actually has a slightly better camera. Well, the front-facing camera, the one that faces, toward, here, is relatively the same to the Razr-M XT907, but this phone has a much better face camera. See, there we are. There's my ZI6 camera. Looks funny with that microphone there. See, there I am. And what's funny is, this is one reason why I call the face camera a digital mirror, because it's like looking in a mirror. Everything is backwards. Yep, call it digital mirror. This has a much better face camera. You can see me there. Much better face camera than the Razr-M. Let's go ahead and compare it right quick. Why not? Yeah, let's show it to you. Oh yeah. Yeah, look at the difference in that. All the grain. Low res, not even high definition. You can even see it on video here. Look at the difference. Yeah. Yeah, the Droid 4 has a better face camera. That's really the only complaint I even have about the Razr-M. The reason why I like the Razr-M so much is due to its compact size. You know, it's so small. So small. And what's cool, this is something I really like too. You know, we're in video mode. You notice all this, you've probably seen on YouTube many times, people who shoot videos with their phones like this. Is your monitor like this? Is your TV like this? No. Even with 5.1.1, it's reminding us we need to spin our phone around. See, there we go. It does it whether you're looking. It doesn't matter what camera it is. If you are not in a proper orientation, it's saying, hey, you need to spin your phone around. That's the best feature right there. I love it. Hopefully that'll take some of the down. Hopefully that'll stop some of these improper oriented videos from getting on YouTube from phones. So anyways, that's that. Okay. Now, let's show you Safe Strap. Okay, let's go back into home. Okay, right quick before we go into Safe Strap. Settings, why not? About phone. This is the August 28th nightly. Same Android version. Yeah, that's that. Not too much to show you here other than that. It's basically the same as what we already been through, just on different model phone. So now, let's go ahead and reboot into recovery. Now, since we're using Safe Strap, it's different. Go and power off the phone. Instead of rebooting, we'll just actually power off. Now the keystrokes on this phone are the same. You know, volume up, volume down, and power. Volume up, volume down, and power. Hold it in. Now on this, you're not going to be choosing recovery, because the phone actually still has the stock recovery on it. So yeah, what you will be choosing is BP Tools. That would get you into Safe Strap recovery. Yep, no unlock bootloader here. Moment of darkness. And we are inside of Safe Strap recovery. Based off a Team Win recovery project. You know, it looks really similar to Team Win, except you're dealing with you know, a slightly different thing here. You know, you still have your backup, you still have your install, restore, you know, your wipe, you know, mounting, advanced, which has like a file explorer and reboot and things like that. And if you go into boot options, you'll see that we have these different ROM slots. You have your stock ROM slot, and you have these other 4. The stock ROM is there. Matter of fact, if we select it, we could probably boot right back into the stock OS on this phone. But anyways, you have these 4 to choose from, and so that means you could probably play around, install different custom ROMs, and it's like sort of like multi-booting on a computer. Choose a different operating system. So this is ROM slot 1. There's more information online about actually how to install this on, you know, the Droid 4. How to install custom ROM. There's certain you want to choose certain sizes of your ROM. So it tells you, you know, system partition size 688 megabytes, Data partition I chose close to 3 gigabytes. The cache is 9 megabytes. So let's go back. Get back. So not really too much to show you here. It's really other than that, it's really similar to Team Wind Recovery Project. So let's go ahead and get out of this and reboot the phone. Well, actually, I'm just going to power off because we're finished. See if it actually powers back on or not. Okay. So anyways, that's sort of an overview of what I've done to my phone. This 2012 phone that just happens to be, pretty decent, good sized. Good size for me anyway. I don't like having a huge phone in my pocket, or if I'm going to bike ride, I need something that's compact. Good compact size phone, running the latest versions of Android. Which amazingly now it says Verizon Wireless. Now let me just go ahead and go in right quick and show you. Pour this down. Turn off Wi-Fi. I've spent some time observing this. Okay, we're not really in a good 4G LTE, but basically it will say if you're actually in a good LTE area, it will say Verizon Wireless. Actually, it will say LTE there instead of 3G. Let's go back to Wi-Fi. Okay. So anyways, that's that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you have not head over to BikeGeekMTDX yet to check out the camera comparison, might be something interesting for you, especially if you have an XT907 and you don't like the camera quality after the .15 system version update. This might be something to think about. As I mentioned, you can get this phone on eBay for like $50, depending on who you buy it from. You want to try to. I would suggest you actually contact the seller. Don't just go by the photo that they have, because the seller that I bought from, the stock photo they used was of a XT907 Razr-M with Jelly Bean still on it, and I had to happen to get, when I booted up, I saw it had KitKat. I was like, oh crap! Went to system. Went to about phone, and luckily it had the .10 update and not, it was basically a stock KitKat and not the .15 system version update. Otherwise, I would have had to return the phone. So it suggests that you just contact the seller and request that the phone, that you get one that has the .10 system update. I think that's the easiest stock software to root your phone and unlock the bootloader with. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Any questions or comments? Feel free to ask, and thanks for watching.